Hello everyone and welcome back to Greater Persia. So we did just start the war against the Iraq. We are currently not in a bad position, unsurprisingly, with the preparation we had. I do spot some guys who don't quite know what to do. So let's tell them. We were to be assigned to that border and still, well, I did kind of abort their mission there, but that's not a problem. Alright, and I don't... You know what, we did... How do you... Yeah, there. So apparently they have planes, but no airports, or... No, it doesn't seem like it. Because normally you can see those in enemy territory, can you not? Or maybe not. No, apparently you can't. Because I can't quite... No, so there's definitely airports in Germany, and we can't see them, so... Yeah, maybe they have one, but it doesn't seem like they're bringing out any of their planes currently. Oh well. I won't complain. So... Yeah, we're just gonna be going... and see what happens from here. Alright, now this is a pretty nice place to be, because now this unit has very low organization. It's doing somewhat of a shattered retreat. It's either doing a face palm or just holding its head. But anyway, we can use this opportunity to push through over this river here into Mesopotamia proper. And in so doing, secure ourselves the opportunity to surround these troops there. And that should already pretty much seal whichever deal there was worth speaking of. Alright, so let's just keep it going. Alright, that's us arriving there. Now we could come to the rescue of those guys. I don't think that that's entirely necessary. I think I would rather just push on for Baghdad. It's urban, so we don't really have anything going for us offensively there. But I think that's just what we will do. I will take 2 units and attack their capital. And leave the rest to do their worst on the other fronts. Right, so here we are crossing that river. That should give us all the opportunities we need. Ah, there we go. They did very quickly abandon their post. There's also no organization in those troops down there, so we'll just split my forces here. And again, send them over the river. Now they're just retreating like beaten dogs. And in doing so, we should probably also... No, you should go there, but then you should go there. Oh, we'd already take Baghdad, so I suppose you can check this here somewhere. So alright, they are now 78% towards capitulation. And we still need to control 15 additional percent of their victory points. So they still have Mosul up there. Also still have Basra down here. So I would suppose that if we take Basra, they would capitulate. So that's rather nice. I think we'll just hold the northern border as good as we can, and then have the rest of us concentrate in the south. Right, other than that... Let's just get some more artillery. Although we will also want more guns, because we can very well afford to train more of those guys. So training them we shall. Right, apparently we are not looking so hot on the offensive here, which is quite understandable because I apparently attacked with just 2 units. Right, you'll be here in 17 hours. I wonder if I can meaningfully support you there. Let's also get you into the mix. No, I can't. Ah, dang, that was a bit of a misstep. But nothing too dangerous. Because we've taken Basra, and there's really no... Oh, he's still not ready to capitulate, is he? So we really need to take Mosul up there. Alright, then we shall do that. So he's moving in force to that province there, so I shall reinforce in force. Other than that, all the fighting in the north has subsided. So we can take you down. Alright, here we are. So these guys are reinforcing in 7 hours. You're reinforcing in 12. I think it should be possible for those folks out there to hold on. Maybe, hopefully. Yeah, there we go. So now it's 4 and 4, and we will be winning that. And we have naval production that we can do now. Alright, so that's... Alright, guess we'll just be producing convoys then. Can never hurt to be able to do some naval trading. Alright, other than that, I think it's just a good idea to flank here for a little bit. And we can go over here. What's with you? Missing equipment production. So apparently some of our fighters were shot down. Wouldn't be able to tell by whom, but that's apparently it. Oh well. Am I missing something here? Our fighters lost. Accident losses. Oh well, this, yeah. So I suppose from here all that remains to be done is just do another flank. We'll leave you. Oh, hang on. We'll leave you with a lower organization here. And you'll keep on attacking from that direction. And you'll even go out there. I want to pincer them as best as I can. Alright, and over here we still have this hills business going on, so maybe I'll just make the long way around. What I can do, however, is make my way across the river. Right, so currently we're just winning by every definition there is of winning. Being attacked next to Baghdad, that's no problem at all. Just keep on pushing in. And we'll just take the long way around. Alright, here's a question. Do I attack across that river? They're a little disorganized, but not too much. And they are being reinforced. So I think I just... Yeah, let's do that. Let's flank them real quick. See if we can just smack them. Which we can. And then those guys are also all retreating, so we'll just push across the river here. Take a couple losses, but save a lot of time in the process. Hopefully. Well, that doesn't seem like a favorable trade at all. Don't want to stretch myself out too thin here. Just hold the border. those guys are done. And then we can just come around the other side. Oh, there they go. So something now did actually bring them to capitulation. I suppose the non-population center provinces are actually worth something, but I couldn't be sure. Alright, let's see. So we made a war contribution, a score of 113. Taking all your states is just 91 points. So this doesn't really say anything when you're on your own in the war. But say for instance you're fighting World War II, and a lot of nations sit on the peace table at the very end. The idea is that you get score depending on your participation in the war. And then there's rounds or turns on the peace table where everyone just demands something, and then all the others can demand something until everyone has spent their points. And you can also just pass, if I can demonstrate that, you can pass which awards you with points. Of course at the expense of maybe missing out the best pieces. But we don't have to worry about such nonsense because all of it was our own doing. So we shall end our turn. And that is now all set in stone. We're in turn number 2, there's nothing more to do. We could pass a couple of times I suppose and just get points for nothing. And that's it. So the Treaty of Mosul was signed. The new Persian Empire took 3 states, which means the Iraq was annexed, and we did seize 8,500 equipment of some description. Now what could that be? I truly wonder. Oh well, we did seize it at any rate. And that's us. We did push world tension up by 6.3%. So that's going to mean something in the near future. I think it's 50% where things really start heating up. And there we go. So that's this. That's I like the size of that name a lot better than before. So we did. Well, let's take a look at what we have right here. We did find ourselves a couple of extra factories. That's nice. Let's... apparently we're back down to 1 naval dockyard. I think that's got something to do with occupation and your occupation policy, I think. But I couldn't be sure really. I think in occupied territory you don't get all of the stuff. But apparently all of this is now our core. It's considered to be the core of our nation. I suppose it's once the war ends, it is actually your core territory. So what I would have figured that we now need to suppress revolts in these states, but apparently we don't. Which I'm perfectly fine with. Alright, so let's just set up what we need to set up here. I think the fighter production is long overdue. Even though we only have crappy fighters from the 1910s or 20s. That's still fighters nonetheless. We need some of them anyway. Because in my experience, my limited experience so far, this game is very much won via air superiority. Alright, when trading rubber, I think we'll just go with the UK for now. I'd very much like to secure some rubber deposits for ourselves. There's a lot down here. There's a lot down here. And I suppose there should also be quite a bit in Africa. But there isn't, so maybe I supposed wrongly. So where is the United Kingdom getting all of its rubber from? Is the question. Seem to be missing oh, that's all UK territory here. Oh yes, of course. 800 rubber in Singapore. So that would certainly be a state we would like to have. So let's keep that in mind. Yeah, but I think that one will just be to make the alert go away, and with the rest we will just keep on producing as per usual. Now, who's going to be the next target? Saudi Arabia is... Well, let's not talk about military strength for a minute, and let's talk about what we actually would get if we were to take them. So we'd get 4 military and 5 civilian factories with you, and 3 dockyards. We'd get 4 and 4 with you. So you are actually the... Yeah, you're actually the better target in any way, really. So I suppose we'll hold off on Afghanistan and start fabricating on you. I'm halfway tempted to try out whether you can do all this with one. Because it takes less political power and takes less time to fabricate the claim. And if Europa Universalis is anything to go by, you can just say, alright, well, I've claimed this territory, but let's be honest, these other things, they do belong to me as well. So I'll just take them. I think I'll try it. I could just read up on this, but Alright, here we go. So, position this army here. We'll do an offensive line at some point in the future. Alright, so there's really only positive things with this war. As I said, I suspected that we would somehow need to do something about the new territories here, but apparently we don't. Alright, I think we also can reinstate our little training army. So let's have you train there. I'll just give you another symbol for this time, so we can differentiate you up there. Maybe make you green, because you're the greenhorns. Right, and then you will be there and be exercising. So if you're moving through attritious, is that a word? Through territory that causes attrition, you take the attrition even in friendly territory, but if you're stationed there, you don't. Is that a factory in the middle of the desert? That's kind of cute. Alright, so that was the great Persian War for the Iraq. We did secure a couple of resources and a bunch of factories, and we actually did find ourselves with an airport this time. So I wonder. Yeah, so we can now fly missions in the Middle East, which is great, because that means we'll have some air support against the Saudi Arabians. Not that we would need it by any, if these numbers are anything to go by, but it's still gonna be nice to have. Right, we are lacking steel once again. Now, steel is one of the most used resources, especially early in the game. I find later you also need a lot of tungsten for tanks and a lot of rubber and oil for planes. Well, you also need oil for everything else that is advanced, but yeah, we'll get to that. We definitely have enough oil, so you don't need to worry about that too much. Right, let's take all of you. Send you to the front. We can also make ourselves an offensive line. I think just somewhere here. Oh, why would I do it that way then. Let's just do it this way and draw you all over. all over. We'll just have a broad advance. That seems good enough to me. Alright, what did we just... Ah, it was support equipment. We're still in 38, so... Yeah, let's just keep on doing the military research so that we lose even less men. I didn't quite check how high our casualties were in that last war, but I suppose that we did quite well preserving our forces. Yeah, alright, so military youth gives us another 2%. We're up to 920 manpower. 920,000 that is. That's really rather nice. So the question is now where to go from here. We could go for technology sharing, but we're not currently in a faction, and I don't think we will be. In other news, we would need more than 50 factories ourselves, and we need any other nation that is in a faction with us to have the same. And then we gain 1 research slot. Oh, well. And that is really not too... Well, it is good, but not terribly needed right now, so I think we'll just hold off on that. And try to see what else we can do over here. Maybe get some army effort done, some aviation effort, that would be great too. But all of this is gonna have to be in the next episode, because unfortunately it's about that time again. So until then, and as always, thanks a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I've been Grind, and I shall see you soon.